Hello and welcome to this week's Alakazam Video Blog. Andy,
Dave,
you are joining me this week.
I am joining you this week, yes. Peter is away doing bits and pieces, so I am here with you today.
He is indeed. I've had a plethora of people join me.
Wow.
It's a big word.
Plethora. I like that. I can't even say it. So.
Yeah, so it's great to have you here. A few bits to talk about, guys. We're going to be talking about a newish product which is something that Andy's taken away and had a look at. We're going to be having a discussion on wallets, and in particular Card to Wallet, which is a plot that Andy loves, and also our latest newsletter, which is where we're going to begin. These have been, people are loving these, and I love them as well, because we give our designer free rein to pretty much terrorise us.
He does.
And he does do that very well. He lives up to his job there. But we've always, sent emails like everyone else, but Pete has had a love with newsletters ever since he used to receive them from magic shops, get excited to read through what's new. And these have been going down an absolute storm. And on there, I'll just show you very quickly, because this is our summary month. So we've been mugged off in a summary way. There's a picture on the front of Pete, and he's got away quite lightly here.
Yeah,
he always seems to.
But
hey, it says he's wearing a hat which says "Kiss me quick, squeeze me slow." So he done all right there. There's some new releases that we're talking about as well, so check them out. We've got John Carey here. You can see him there, his muscles out. We've got Andy down here. Where is he? There he is.
Just as a ghost.
As an ice cream. As a full-on ice cream. And there's Sarah. And I am literally an ice lolly. I think he's got that spot on with my rosy cheeks. So good effort there. And then I've knitted for some reason. And the H is on the back selling knitted ice cream. So bizarre. I don't know what it was on when he created this, but that is our latest newsletter. They'll be going out with all of your orders. So make sure you get an order in this month to get a newsletter. And then a couple of things before we get onto this is our Viking Magic range is back in stock.
It is back in stock, yeah. The classic stuff that we've had in previously, such as Badlands Bob, is back in stock. They are selling quickly. That's a constant seller for us, because it's just such a fabulous effect. We have Casino Royale, which is back in stock.
The Stop Trick.
The Valhaven Stop Trick.
They're nearly gone as well.
They are. And that, again, when we first got those in, they were out of stock for quite a while. When we had them in the first time, they literally went like that.
One of my favourites as well is the Samurai. Oh, I love it with the sword. You put the sword in a little frame and you cover it up, borrow a ring vanishes, and when you lift up the cover, it's now on the sword. And it's just, the way it works as well is so clever. Yeah,
so some of the old favourites are back in stock. We also, for the first time in ages, have Ultimate Flashback in stock.
Which is an incredible book test. I mean, it goes far beyond just giving the word that they're thinking of, which is nothing wrong with that, but this has built-in things into it, which is just superb.
I a few years back wanted to do a little bit more stand-up. I decided to do some mentalism stand-up. Peter came along and said, you've got to do a book test. If you are going to do a book test, this is it, because I know he uses it all the time. And it is amazing. It really is. The reactions are fantastic.
And you get, is it 5 books with that test?
Yeah, I think it is 5 books, which allow you to do loads of different things. So you can do like a one-on-one thing, you can use 5 different people. It's entirely up to you, but it's really easy to get to grips with as well. So if you're looking for a book test, then that is great.
Brilliant. Well, check out the full range on our site. That's the Viking Magic products. But one that I'm just going to highlight is one that cannot stay on our shelves. It just goes out as soon as it comes in. I think we've got about 9 or 10 of them left from this batch, and that is Badlands Bob. So let's take a look at a performance of this now.
David, many years ago in the Old West, there was a gambler called Badlands Bob. This is his prized possession.
Right.
He actually earned a fortune scamming people with this little prediction.
Okay.
And I'll show you. It sounds interesting, and it is very interesting. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is take hold of the dice. I want you to roll it a few times just to make sure that it's true and it's not landing on the same number all the time.
5, 1.
And whenever you want, just stop. Okay, but keep going until you're happy.
Okay.
4.
4.
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, now you could have chose any number. I'm going to give it a choice. You can either stay with 4, or you can just think of a number in case you think that maybe this dice after so many rolls will land on number 4. So you can either stick with 4, or you could change your mind to anything, any number on a dice.
I'm going to stick.
Okay, so that's totally random.
Yeah.
Now, if Badlands Bob was to approach you in a bar or a restaurant, and you can hear what's in there, in fact, take it. If he was to approach you in a bar and say, I know, without a shadow of a doubt, what number you're going to choose.
Yeah.
Would you bet $10 on it?
I'd bet that he wouldn't.
You'd bet that he wouldn't?
Yeah.
Do me a favour, open that up. It's actually quite interesting what you find inside. Because inside there is a little wooden box. Now this box is a holder. Turn it over, because inside this holder is 1 dice. And what number's it on?
It's on number 4.
Now, before we do anything else, just try and change the number on that dice. You cannot, because that dice is sealed in that box on the number 4.
That's incredible.
Now guys, that will work with any number your spectator chooses, and also you don't have to have a second dice in place. You can hand them the box, they can make sure the number doesn't change. You now ask them to name a number, they hold the box in their hand, and when they look, the dice will match the number they've named.
It's so good.
That is Badlands Bob. It's the original Viking version, so you know the quality is superb. And also, if you purchase it from Alakazam Magic, you also get a streaming video where I teach you the mechanics of the whole situation, and it's very, very easy to do. It's such a lovely little trick. That's Badlands Bob.
So that was Badlands Bob and all the Viking range. Check out our site for full information and to purchase any of them. And now let's go on to this. This is the Knockout Magic of Caleb Wiles. This is something you've taken away, I haven't had a look at, so tell us a bit about it.
So 16 card effects on here over 2 discs. I was first introduced to Caleb Wiles' material quite a few years back now, I think, with High Spots. It was a booklet that was released, and from there he released a DVD called Rematch, which had, I think it was only 3 or 4 effects on it, one of which caused a bit of a stir because it was a version of Paul Harris's Reset, or actually it was lots of different versions of Paul Harris's Reset. Just amazing, really very clever and commercial stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know a lot about Caleb Wiles, but from what you've shown me from this, and we were talking, saying if you get one thing out of a DVD set, then you're kind of winning. And you've said to me that there's not a bad thing on here.
No.
And that is, I mean, that's rare in itself. Yeah,
and the diverse card material. We're not talking just about possibly revelations or pick a card, let's find it type tricks. The plots are really interesting. The moves that you're using in the plots are not difficult, well within the reach on here of anybody even new to card magic, so sort of intermediate level. The sleights are explained pretty much, unless there's sort of standard sleights that are assumed that you know. Yeah, and just the depth that Caleb goes into in each routine as well. And
the teaching is good. I mean, it's vanishing ink, so their quality is always good. So yeah, there's 16 tricks on there. You've picked one to show us.
I have, yeah. We'll be looking at something called semi-automatic luck test very soon. In fact,
let's take a look at it now.
Dave.
Yes, mate.
Thanks for joining me here for this. Let me ask you, would you consider yourself to be lucky at all?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No.
Right. Okay. So if you were to go to Las Vegas and you were, playing, I don't know, blackjack, for example, it would be how would you approach it? Would you go for luck, or would you try and have an element of skill?
I've tried many times skill, and luck doesn't help, nor does skill.
Oh, right, okay.
So, yes, neither.
Well, I happen to think that that you're possibly luckier than you think you are. All right, so I'll tell you what, why don't we test it?
Okay.
I have here a deck of cards. You take hold of those for me. Very simple. I need you to cut off about half the pack and just place them there.
Okay.
And shuffle the cards that are in your hands. And and take I don't know, a batch of cards from there, maybe half of them, just place them here, and then shuffle the cards that are in your hands.
Okay, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, and place them there. Very good. So we have 3 piles that you've cut and shuffled. Yeah. Pick up one of the piles. Very good. Drop that pile on either one of these two, and then pick the whole pile up and drop it on top of there. Excellent. Okay. So you have to agree that you've mixed these up now.
It's pretty fair.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay. So I'm going to test you in a couple of different ways. We've tested the shuffling and the cutting.
Yeah.
Let's see how you think logically. We'll try and do this maybe with a number that you're going to think about. So in a moment, I'm going to deal cards down to the table. You're going to think of a number, and we'll deal to that number. Maybe we'll test a couple of other things as well. So your number, make it 12 and above, but not too high, because I've got to deal down to the table.
16.
16, so that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, fair? So we shuffle cards, we cut cards, you thought of a number, we dealt down to that number. Do you know what, I'm not sure on the whole cutting thing, so I'll tell you what, we'll test that one more time. Cut off a packet of cards, just leave them there for me.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
And we'll leave that just there. Do you remember when you were at school, you used to do that thing, she loves me not, she loves me, she loves not,
yes.
with the flowers, yeah? So I'll tell you what, we'll try that.
Okay.
All right. So she loves me not, she loves me, 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 she loves me not, she loves me. That is a really good sign.
Winning.
Winning. Winning. I mean, you know, the King of Diamonds, or the King here is actually, or could be considered a lucky card. I don't know quite in what game. Not one card anyway. 2 cards.
Hello.
2 matching kings. That is quite good. If we were playing blackjack at the moment, we'd have what, 20?
It's quite impressive.
Yeah. I think that kings are quite magical. So I tell you what, let's explore this a little bit further. So K-I-N-G. Oh, that would be a king.
That would.
K-I-N-G. That would be a king as well. 4 kings is pretty good.
That's pretty impressive.
But there is a card that beats the king, which is
the aces.
Let's have a look. Oh, see, that happens to be an ace. And if that's an ace, this must be an ace, this must be an ace, and this must be an ace too. I think you're luckier than you think you are.
Well, I need to take you to Vegas is the answer there.
Oh, well. Perhaps we should go.
Pompeii.
Perhaps we should go.
Great, mate.
Oh, thank you very much. So this is semi-automatic luck test. This comes from a Main Event, the Caleb Wiles DVD. Check out loads of great material on there, of which this is one completely self-working as well. So well worth you checking out.
Very nice. Cool, so that was semi-automatic luck test from Knockout Magic of Caleb Wiles. These are superb, and if you want to get your hands on one, go over to our site and pick one up. There's so much card magic out there, but it's always great to see something from someone a little different, creative. I like the 8-ball trick that's on here as well. That's a bit out there, and it's really cool. So yeah, check it out, guys. Knockout Magic of Caleb Wiles. So on to a discussion. Now, if you are into your magic wallets, then you'll know that 3 or 4 years ago, when we were in the old room, actually, when we started out the vlogs, myself and Pete did a comparison video on some of the wallets at the time. We've had a lot of great feedback for that, and people wanting sort of a current day one, and that will be something that myself and Pete will do. However, there is a question we get asked a lot, and that is, I want to do a card to wallet, what's the best one out there? Now, there are so many out there. I can't answer exactly what the best one is, but I can give my opinion on it, and our opinion on it as well. But what I've basically done is selected 2 here. One of them is a no palm version. So if you're worried about palming cards, there's one for that. And the other one is the one that I use and work all the time. You absolutely love it as well, don't you?
Yeah.
I love this plot, card to wallet. You can sense
More
something.
on that in a second.
Yeah, you can sense something a little coy when it comes to that, because I absolutely love the plot. There's so many magicians out there that work it, but it doesn't mean it has to be for everyone. And you are not necessarily into the plot, but we'll get onto that in just a second. What I want to do first, though, is just very quickly mention a no card palm to wallet, and that is the F1 Nitro wallet. Now, as we're talking now, we'll drop in a little video just so you can see how quick it is. Now, what you don't see in the video is that you can show the card to vanish from the deck. So it's not in the deck, the sign card not in the deck before it appears inside the wallet. But what you will see from the video is how quick you can do card to wallet with a signed card without any palming. This has been an amazing setup. I know even before I started at Alakazam, there was the F1 version 1, which wasn't the Nitro. Yeah. And that has been popular ever since. Basically, what the Nitro does is gives you a peak, similar to the one in the Assassin, if you own an Assassin, as well as the card to wallet.
That's it, yeah. So it's an amalgamation, really, of the F1 wallet with the Assassin wallet. Yeah. So, yeah, you get loads of bonus features with the F1 Nitro that you don't with the F1.
Now, whether you like the plot or not, what do you think of this as a no palm? If you're worried about palming cards, would you recommend this?
Yes, certainly. If you are a bit apprehensive about palming cards, or you're just getting into palming cards, you want to see how strong the effect plays for you, then most certainly the a no palm card to wallet in this sense is very good. It's a quick load. Yeah. It's a repeatable load should you wish to go down that route.
It kind of does it for you because you get a gimmick in there which aids you with it.
Yeah, and a gimmick that you can add and take away from the deck that you're using at any point during the act. Yeah. So it has all the flexibility of if you were palming a card and adding it into a wallet. But without the palm.
Yeah, and the beautiful, actually that's a good point, the beautiful thing about this is you can bring that wallet out of your pocket, all right, and the deck can be shuffled and mixed. You can do any card routine you want with a sign card. And now you can bring the wallet out of your pocket, and from that moment you can set yourself up to go into the card to wallet. Yeah. So it really is great. There's some great extra handlings you can do with this as well, where the card is a different colour. Yeah. So you use a red deck, and then the card that you pull out is blue backed, and that's signed.
There is even a mentalism routine on here as well, which I'm sure there's a mentalism routine on here that Peter did, which is amazing in its own right. Because you're not using it as the way that you think that you use it for. Yeah. So, it's certainly well worth checking out.
So if you're looking for a no palm card to wallet, I think we would both highly recommend the F1. It's up to you now whether you want to go for the Nitro, which is slightly more expensive but has got a built-in peak as well, and the peak's great. But the F1 normal wallet will do just the card to wallet. Yeah. So that's the F1 Nitro, and on to my favourite. Now let's quickly touch on this, Andy, because you don't perform card to wallet.
I don't.
When you work. Why? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. This is your opinion.
Because it doesn't suit my style of performing. It's not necessarily that I don't think it's a good trick. It just doesn't suit my sort of way of performing. I have issue is the wrong word with the card to wallet plot. I have some reservations about it, and my main reservation being that as soon, for the most part, that wallet comes out of your pocket is the moment where, for the most part, spectators go, oh, my card's going to be in there. I think it's important to realise that as a plot, this is still a good plot. I think the reason that this kind of happens is possibly a presentational one. The card gets loaded in and the wallet's taken out, and I think we have a situation where the card is taken from the deck and it's appearing in here. Method and effect are both running in tally with each other pretty much. Yeah. The card's being palmed from the deck, it's being loaded into the wallet as the wallet's been taken out, and I think you know, it's fairly safe to say that sometimes an audience, you know, if you give them credit, will think, well, that's the moment the card went in. As he's taking it out, my card's going to be in there.
Yeah, and there are, you know, the thing is, when you're getting used to it and you're learning it, you are going to fumble, and there are times where people will go, "What are you doing there?" sort of thing. And I totally get that. You know, that I was speaking with you, and something that I've been doing for a while that Jamie Dawes has been doing as well, and it's worked really well for us. Is we both basically use this. This is the Jerry O'Connell wallet. It allows you to load into an ID holder, which we call like an Oyster card holder. And I don't palm in the flat card. So I'll load in a Mercury folded card.
Yeah.
And what that does is when you bring out the ID holder, you still get people go, "Oh, I bet that's my card inside there." And when I turn it over and they see that it's a folded card, now in their mind they it can't be, because I didn't physically sit there and fold a card up in front of them.
Yeah.
Which, without them knowing what a Mercury card fold is, takes a lot longer than a couple of seconds to fold a card in half again, and then sneak it away.
Exactly. So we've now got an object that's inside the wallet that delays the moment where people can go, "Oh, that must be my card." Even if you took the wallet out and someone is possibly thinking, "My card's going to be in there," the moment that you take now a folded card, they are now, I think, thinking, "Well, that can't be my card."
Yeah.
And so you get that extra beat, that extra moment of suspense, that I think cancels out the fact that maybe people will jump to the conclusion that it's there.
Yeah. You know, that as well as loading it into an envelope, you know, and folded in an envelope is now two, you know, there's two extra mysteries to go, well, how did he fold it? How did he get it in the envelope? It's just like, now it's amplifying that, and that was in his wallet.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're adding these layers to it.
Yeah, but because the conditions have changed, in their mind, because the conditions have changed, it means, I think, that they can't possibly think that card got in there, and therefore the directness of card to wallet, where in some performances or versions that I've seen, it's kind of like over immediately, and it's deflated, has now become something that is, because it's a little bit more suspenseful, because the conditions have changed, has now become, wow, how did that happen? No, that can't possibly be my card.
Yeah.
We talked also about if you've ever seen Paperclip by Jay Sankey. Dennis Bear has this great version on his recent DVD set where the back of the card is a different colour. So here we now have something where not only is the card that's on the table out in the open, but it has a different colour back. So even if you thought once the card's disappeared, or once you go into the moment of revelation, oh, that's going to be my card.
Yeah.
Your mind's cancelling that out by going, oh, it can't be, because that's green.
Yeah.
And we talked about this in the context of the card to wallet plot, because you have a variation of your folded card. Yeah,
which is basically, if you've ever seen me lecture or the Penguin lecture, it's called Eclipse, and it basically is a way of turning a signed card to an opposite back colour. So now, so the card's lost in there, and the whole routine, whatever routine you're doing, you come to the point where you want to load it. Say I'm using a red deck, now I'll go into my wallet and pull out the ID holder, and if they have that moment where they go, oh, and that's my card, I now can go, oh no, this is one that I folded earlier, it's from a blue deck, and now they sort of lower their guard and relax, because it's from a blue deck, there's no way that could be my card. But if it was your card, obviously I wouldn't get the signature, but say your card was a 6 of hearts, but if it was a 6 of hearts on the blue deck, that'd be a pretty cool prediction. And then when you open it and you go, I managed to get your signature as well. It's it's just a great moment. And you also mentioned when we were talking about this, the fact that quite often if you're not doing that particular version, or even if you're doing that particular version, you go to show people and people go, that's, and you go, no, this is one that you're implying was there from earlier on, and then you leave it and go on with a so trick. I will literally, so basically I'll get the cards out of play,
Yeah.
so I won't rush this. I'll do my card routine, and it will build to a crescendo, and you go fantastic, and you say, "I'll tell you what. Would you mind? You hold on to the cards. I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to go into my pocket now and bring out a coin and do a coin flurry." So now you break it up, right? So the cards are with them. They're not even questioning the cards. You finish your set, and then you go, "Now, because you helped me out, I really appreciate it. I want to give you a little gift for helping me out." And you open up here, and now you bring out the ID holder. And in the ID holder now is a folded card. And I've got a folded card in here, which if you saw me earlier, I just signed one. But now it comes out, and you kind of make it, it's very easy to unfold a card, but you kind of make an effort out of, there's the first fold, and there's the second one, as if it's actually longer to do that than it is.
Yeah.
And then you had their signed card, but it's inside the ID holder or inside an envelope.
Yeah.
So yeah, that breaks it up. It doesn't mean that I'm going straight from my card into the wallet and bring the wallet out. And they just, it hits them.
Because I think you have that time delay, that time misdirection. And like I said, I don't. It's not so much that I dislike the plot.
No.
It's just that I've not found a presentation that works for me, apart from possibly one or two. If you look at, your idea is great there with the folded card, it being a different colour back. If you look at Darwin Ortiz has something called the Dream card, where the back is a different colour. You show that beforehand, you go into a routine, and then when you reaffirm this at the end, it's got a different colour back and it's their signed card.
Yeah.
And a Penguin lecture that I saw recently, where it was all about time travel. The card is in view. It's in a wallet that's on the table. So apparently you never come anywhere near it, and then their card appears in here. Yeah. So you've got some things that work.
Yeah, it all depends on the way you want to take it. And a good friend of ours, Etienne.
Yeah.
He loads straight in as anyone else will. And he gets the best reactions out of it. Doesn't put a Mercury card folder in, just does the generic one, and it works for him. And so it's whatever works for you. I like putting the extra fold in. I just think it adds that extra mystery. And shout out to Jamie Dawes as well, who does that. So I'll just briefly tell you about this wallet. So this is like a inside jacket wallet, but also I have loaded this from my back pocket as well. This is the large version. The small version, I would say, is probably about that off, would you say?
Yeah.
So it's about that size. So it depends on what suits you. But you can load in a couple different ways with this. I won't go into full detail, but one of them you can do non-palm.
Yeah.
And the other is palm as well. And what's great about this is the Jerry O'Connell large plus wallet, but now produced and owned by Prop Dog and Dave Bonsall. And Dave, when he was going out and working, I'm sure he still does, but now obviously he's got his busy shop. He was quite well known for a routine that he did with this, and kind of created the modern day card to envelope, and he produces them and sells them, called Bonsalopes. And now if you pick one of these up, you get, I think it's 20 Bonsalopes inside there, so you can, and as soon as you load to an envelope, just try it. The impact it has is unreal. You can just hand them the envelope and they tear it open.
Yeah, and you get this moment of suspense here as well. So you start tearing it and don't finish the tear, hand it over to them, and now if they continue tearing it, it's that moment where you're away from it and, oh my God, what's inside here? It's like opening a present at Christmas, isn't it?
Oh, it's brilliant. And you haven't just got to go with a card into the envelope. I know Dave has a routine with a ring, and saying that, what he's done here as well, and I've seen this because I own this, I've seen the lecture, it's fantastic, I've seen it live. He includes his full lecture DVD in the bottom here as well. So you're getting the wallet, 20 envelopes or Bonsalopes to get you started, and a lecture DVD at a really good price. The leather's great. I went for tan this time. I've always kind of stuck with the black leather, but it just kind of suits me more and what I'm wearing now, and it's lovely. And so that's the tan leather. We've got 2 of the tans in at the moment, 3 of the black leathers in at the moment. Obviously we are ordering more in, so be sure to get your order in if you want one of these. But that is the Jerry O'Connell large plus wallet.
Excellent.
There you go. So that hopefully gives you a little bit of information on a couple of cards or wallets. For more information on anything we've shown you or spoken about, check out our website, alakazam.co.uk, for full information there. So a couple of things left to say before we go.
Yes, next week we have the fabulous Daniel Chard that will be joining us for an academy, Hard Hitters. That promises to be an excellent academy full of great workable material. Well within the range, and Daniel has said this, there's going to be stuff that will cover all different skill sets. There's even, as I understand, a mentalism effect in there, so a non-card item. But Dan has loads of great material and loads of stuff to say as well. So truly worth getting on board with that and taking a look and checking it out.
Great. We have Will Houston. You had done a 2-night course with him.
I have just finished a 2-night course with Will Houston. Fantastic coin magic set. It was brilliant. I mean, if you want to learn coin magic, then that is a great academy to check out. It's still up on the site, so go jump on there, grab that. Just tons and tons of information, handling coins, what type of coins to get, some fantastic routines. It was literally chock-a-block with magic.
And Will's a great teacher and a great performer as well. He's just so skilled.
We had the pleasure of him obviously being here during the days, a couple of days, and we saw some fantastic coin magic in our own right, as well as some fantastic card magic. So maybe that'll be another one later on. And then, although it's not been announced yet, we do have Liam Montier towards the end of the month as well. So lots and lots of magic going on. Yeah,
so check it out, guys. You know, a few of these courses are available. The older courses are available to purchase at the moment. We're working on, when our site launches, to launch all of them. So we're working on trailers and stuff like that at the moment. So keep your eyes peeled out for them. But I think that brings us towards the end.
It does, yes.
Thank you so much for your continued support, guys. We really do appreciate it. We love doing these vlogs. We're going to keep them coming for you. On Tuesdays, we go live at 2 PM. Between that and Friday will be probably an Alakazam Academy, and then on Friday are our vlogs. So a chock a week for information about magic. So yeah, thank you so much, and we will see you next time at Alakazam Magic.
Hey guys, Daniel Chard here. I'm super excited to share with you my first Alakazam live called Hard Hitters. So on this project, I'm going to share with you a range of material from my professional working repertoire, both on stage and up close. We're going to go in depth and learn every nuance and subtlety in my new card under box routine, which has received a lot of praise from magicians around the world. We're going to learn an effect which has been a hit at my lectures, which is called In the Frame, which is a DVD effect where you produce the wrong film and then visually change the cover into one that the spectator is merely thinking of. And the best bit, it instantly resets. We're going to share with you my effect, Magicians Against Humanity, which is a do as I do with jokes and punchlines, which is extremely well received on stage, and it's very, very powerful and funny. All of the material has been selected to be extremely easy, or at least within the reach of the beginner to intermediate. Like I said, there's a lot of variety of material using post-it notes, playing cards and DVDs, mentalism, stage routines and close-up. All in all, there is something for everyone. So do yourself a favor, pick up this live, and over the next 2 to 3 hours, I look forward to sharing some hard, impactful magic and also some of my visual card work, which you've expected from me. So I look forward to seeing you there, guys. See you soon.